Hello people of the internet, congratulations of watching yet another YouTube video. However, this very particular one is completely different than anything else because in this one I will give away film awards, which I have very inventively called Not the Oscars. It's the Oscar evening and the chances are pretty big that by the time you're watching this video they have already passed and we already know who won what and everything. But anyway, this does not stop me from giving away my own film awards. For some reason I felt compelled to do so. But hey, my channel, my rules, what can you do? I have to say, in last year we've had some pretty amazing films and it was rather joyful to go out to the cinemas and watch them or just watch them at home, and deciding which film won what was actually really hard. As you will watch, if you decide to watch this video, you will see that the categories might be slightly different than they are at the Oscars, and also the criteria by which I give away awards are completely biased. It's all up to me whether I like the film or not, of course. And also it might be worth mentioning that I have not watched all of the films that are nominated for the Oscars. However, in the last year I have managed to watch, I think, 195 films. I don't know why I said I think. I know exactly that that's the number of the film I watched. The thing is also that included in those 195 films are the films that have been made way before last year, so they don't count because I've watched a lot of classics and I rewatched some films I watched before anyway. So these are basically the awards for the films that I have watched, and you have absolutely no ideas which those films are, so you might just go along and see what happens. Also, a quick disclaimer, I have been boozing lightly on whiskey today, like slightly, nothing too much, very in limits. I'm not like smashed or anything, God forbid, but just as a warning, if this thing goes south too quickly, you'll know that it's not my fault, it's the booze. But hey, it's the awards night, we deserve it, we've worked hard for the whole year, we went through all these films and everything, so we deserve it. If anyone, then it's us. So go grab your favorite booze or whatever it is that you prefer to drink. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, not live from an undisclosed location somewhere in London, these are not the Oscars. Cue the whatever intro there is for this thing. The first category for tonight is the category that I'm most involved in because I made quite a few short films last year and I'm also involved in a short film festival. And as I've mentioned already in one of my previous videos, last year I've watched just around 260 short films, give and take. And if I have to decide for one, it would be The Postman by Azana Films. Did I say that right? Azana Films, yeah, that was right. I'll post the link down in the description. I loved it so much. It's one that keeps it's still with me, and I've seen it a year ago, and it's 6 minutes long, and it's kind of a very fragile, a very intimate moment that we really shouldn't know it exists except for the protagonist, but we do get to see it and it feels really special. Check it out, really, it's amazing, it is a piece of art, and yeah, The Postman. The best documentary goes, without a shadow of a doubt, to Honeyland. I've just watched it and oh my god, I cannot believe that that's a documentary and not a narrative film. The way that they managed to do it and the team that comes through it, how it's edited, it is a complete masterpiece in every sense of a word, if this word has more senses. If you haven't watched it yet, please go and watch it. It's completely mind-blowing. It's such a beautiful piece of art. Honeyland. Well, I do watch a lot of series, so again, my channel, my rules, and I guess I do get to decide on which series was my favorite in 2019, and that was without a doubt Chernobyl. I have a feeling I'm gonna say without a doubt a lot in this video. Anyway, Chernobyl I thought was really good, the script was amazing, the directing was amazing, and the one thing that kind of surprised and amazed me at the same time the most was the exposition. I hate exposition in any play or a series or film or whatever. However, in Chernobyl there was a lot of it, and the way that it was given was just genius. It's knocked my socks off all the way through. So Chernobyl, best series 2019 by Not an Englishman. Best horror, again, without a doubt, this will have to be Midsommar. I've watched this film and I remember after the film I was just, I did not know what to say. There are certain images in that film that if I close my eyes now I will see them really clearly, and also the theme that the film envelops and everything is just mind-blowing. Such a beautifully crafted film. If you have not seen it. Also, I'm not pretty sure that's a horror. They say, I mean, it kind of is, but it's really, I don't know. Is there such a thing as like a natural thriller? Drama? Slight horror? No. Anyway, if you haven't watched it, do watch it. It is truly amazing. The best sci-fi was, for some reason, probably the easiest one to decide, and that was, drum roll, Ad Astra. I thought, again, I'm gonna lean on exposition, which in sci-fi is usually the most common, and I don't think there was any. If there was, it was very well done, and I thought Brad Pitt was really good. The pace was really nice, and just the whole film, I don't know, it was quite a refreshing thing to see, actually. So yes, Ad Astra for the best sci-fi 2019. I find it really hard to find a really good comedy, because it's a very fine line when it just becomes a bit goofy and maybe too slapsticky or too on the nose. I don't know. I like intelligent, smart comedies and witty and sarcastic and everything. Anyway, this year, again, without a doubt, this was The Parasite. It's one of those films that even weeks after watching it, it still kept me thinking, what did he want to say with this? How did he do this? And this was so well edited, and this was so clever. It's again truly an amazing piece of art, an amazing piece of filmmaking, great directing, great ensemble. They were really, I mean, the way they put them together, wow. So yeah, Parasite, the best comedy 2019. This one was probably the hardest for me, because there was truly a lot of really good dramas out there last year, and I think it's probably my favorite genre as well. I don't think drama is a genre really, because it envelops such a wide range of films. Anyway, if I was forced to pick one, and I'm forcing myself right now, that would have to be The Marriage Story. Again, another film that kept me thinking for weeks after I watched it. And the dialogues I thought were very well crafted. I'm quite a fan of Noah Baumbach, and I think as hard a theme as it is in The Marriage Story, to tell it in a fun way and engaging way that he did is really amazing. So yeah, best drama 2019. I don't know why I keep repeating this. You saw it. Yeah, it's The Marriage Story. I have to admit, I do love a good blockbuster, and having said that, I want to stress I do love a good blockbuster, and I was really disappointed in 2019 because majority of blockbusters were quite bad. All of them just started relying on the effects, and there's nothing with the story, there's no character development. They started casting really good actors, and yet the stories are still very, very weak. However, the best blockbuster of 2019 I thought was Alita Battle Angel. And that's for several very specific reasons. One, I thought the visuals were really good, the way that they executed them. Yeah, I'm gonna say effects, but the way that the characters looked there was amazing. B, it was the first film when the 3D really didn't bother me. And C, even though the story was it was very predictable, It kind of kept me engaged and it was interesting all the way through. So yeah, my award for the best blockbuster goes to Alita: Battle Angel. For the best independent awards, which I am trying hard every year to watch more and more of them because they do deserve all the support and attention from us that we can give, my award goes to The Lighthouse. I remember watching it and the film ended and I said to myself, I have no ideas what I've just watched, but it was amazing. If a kick in the nuts felt good, that would be The Lighthouse. It's really hard to explain it. I was trying to explain it to people what it is, and then in the end I just go, just watch it. And if you haven't watched it yet, wow, just watch it. Best editing. Here we go. We have come to below the line, and since I'm also an editor myself, this one is pretty close to heart and close to home and close to my bills and close to my rent and you know, whatever. There was some really good editing in 2019 films, but you know, you have to decide on one, and I decided on Joker. It's because it almost feels like the editing is completely aware of itself. A lot of time when you're watching Joker, you don't notice the editing, which is how it should be, but then there are moments where it's very obvious and very on the nose, but it should be there as well, and it worked so well. And it's such a nice balance between this completely seamless editing and this really like montages and on the nose cuts. And there's a lot of very good in-camera editing as well. So Joker, editing goes to you, if it means anything to you anyway, but hey. Here we go. Best soundtrack will have to go to The Rocketman. I love it when the films take the soundtrack and basically build the whole film around it, and at the same time as they build the story around it, the story, in Rocketman especially, the story also explains the song, especially now because it's a biography about Elton John. And plus I live in Britain, so I'm quite biased when it comes to Elton John. But yeah, Rocketman soundtrack 2019. Just a warning for this one, because I can see quite a few of you, after telling who my best cinematography is, going, oh wait, that's and just clicking somewhere else. I mean, you're free to do that, but just let me explain. The film that I'm about to give my award to was already considered in the last Oscars. However, in the UK the film only came out in the March 2019, which was actually after the Oscars, so as far as I'm concerned, for me it's considered for this year's, and that is At Eternity's Gate. I've read a lot of bad reviews about specifically cinematography of this film, but for me I thought it was genius. I thought it worked so well with the fact that we're watching a film about a painter, because it's all the time it kind of feels that the cameraman was trying to catch the perfect frame, like how to make a painting, how to find the perfect picture and the colors and everything, and I thought it was just spot on and it worked perfectly for the film. The award for the best casting goes to The Farewell. When I watched it, I never doubted that I am not watching a family. They worked together really nicely. I thought Awkwafina carried the film really well as well. And it just, in these kind of films, when you don't notice that these are actually actors and you just kind of, it's almost documentarian, like it means that something very well has been done in the background. I think the whiskey is starting to talk. The best ensemble will have to be a tie. I know this award is not given out in the Oscars, but these are not the Oscars, and it will be a tie between Knives Out and The Hustlers. I'm not sure if the cast of The Hustlers can be called an ensemble. However, they were still really good, and they worked very well as a unit. I thought they were, in both films, they were very well put together. The chemistry between all the characters was amazing. So yeah, it was a hard one, so let's just give it to the both of them. Why not? It's 21st century, come on. Again, quite a flawless victory. The Marriage Story, I'm gonna probably say the same thing I said before, like to bring this kind of a theme to screen, and also this, we've never really talked about this kind of stuff, and to bring it in a kind of a almost a light and entertaining way, the way he did, is pretty amazing and mind-blowing. So Marriage Story, a clear winner as far as the scripts go. Yes, there can be a bad script with good dialogues, and there can be a good script with bad dialogues, so I decided to give a award for best dialogues as well. And this one for me will have to be The Two Popes, because making an hour and a half or however long the film is about two old guys just chatting, and it being based on reality and it being based on very, very, very few facts, and making it as entertaining as they managed to do, to me is wow. I tip my hat, I blow my mind, whatever, you know, honorable thing there is to do. It's truly amazing. Again, if you haven't watched it, do watch it. It is pretty amazing. Well, I have to stop drinking this. I keep repeating myself. Amazing, amazing. This is amazing though. This one, yeah, it'll have to be, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it'll have to be Joaquin Phoenix. But I thought that his Joker was really, he was completely flawless through and through the film. There was not a single moment where he would be even a percentage out of character, which, by the way, is also a very good job to the editing, and no one almost never mentions this. But yeah, and I also thought his character development and how he goes from one point to another was truly amazing and mesmerizing, and all the other words saying how good he was. So yeah, a pretty clear winner as far as I'm concerned. For this one, I can imagine quite a few now just unsubscribing, if you are subscribed, of course. If you haven't subscribed already, this might be a nice moment to do it, just as a soft reminder. There's a very nice button just under the video. It says subscribe, and if you click on it, then this beautiful face will be appearing in your YouTube video every single week. Imagine that. How could you even have lived without this before me? Anyway, for me, the best actress in 2019 was, wait for it, you can wait for it, Jennifer Lopez in The Hustlers. It's just that I was watching the film, and then like halfway through the film I had to remind myself, oh wait, this is actually J-Lo that I'm watching here, and I thought she completely disappeared in the character. And the same as Joaquin Phoenix, I thought she was there 100% all throughout the film. There was not a single moment where I could see that she's either acting or that she's maybe in slight doubt or anything, and I think she was also cast beautifully and perfectly for that film. So yeah, J-Lo, you get my Best Actress award for 2019. As if this means anything to her. Like, J-Lo. Well, this one, the same as editing, strikes very close to home, and it was also a very, very hard decision. I wish I could go for one, but it'll have to be two. And even giving out two awards breaks my heart, but needs must, as if I need to do this in any way. Anyway, the tie of the best directors of 2019 are Sam Mendes for 1917 and Todd Phillips for Joker. 1917 because just before watching 1917, I was quite concerned that it's gonna look really staged and really directed, considering the way the film has been shot, so in a single shot, and it hasn't. It does not. It looks completely natural, completely flawless. So there's some true mastery behind that, I think. And for Joker, I would have to talk for quite a long time to give you all the reasons why the Joker is so well directed. And but yeah, there's a lot of reasons. That's why I decided to give the Best Directing award. The award of the evening for the best film, like of all of them, goes to, drum roll please, Midsummer. Might be a bit of a surprise because it didn't appear in any of the other categories, but as I mentioned earlier, it's one of the rare films that really shocked me to the core, and it left me almost speechless, and I still keep talking about it, and it's been like what, 6 months since I've seen it, or I don't know how many. And again, such strong imagery, and I believe it's been shot on a very tight budget, which I can appreciate so much and I respect so much. And at the same time, I think it shows a very strong vision of a very craftful, is that even a word? Of a very skillful director, so I hope to see more from the guy. So yeah, best film as I concerned, as the best film as... So yeah, Midsummer. And just so we don't go out on a bang, you know, there's always this film when you watch it and you kind of go, well, this wasn't really bad, it didn't really change my life or thoughts in any way, but yeah, I guess I kind of enjoyed it. So the best okay film of 2019 is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars, and I mean, having said that, doesn't mean that I hate it by any means. I like it, but I'm not a fanboy. I don't follow plots that much. I don't follow characters. I don't know who said what to whom in which of the 119 episodes. But I enjoy it, and even I'm guessing even if they decided to turn the plot completely upside down, I would still go, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. So yeah, I didn't think it was an overachievement in any way, but I didn't think it was that bad either. It was kind of a nice entertainment, and it was an okay film as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, thank you for watching. This concludes the 2019 Not the Oscars. As I mentioned earlier, click the lovely subscribe button at the bottom if you want to see more of this loveliness on your web. As I mentioned before, click the subscribe button if you want to see more of this immigrant loveliness in your YouTube feed, and by all means, if you think that this video deserves your like, go gently on that like button and tell your friends about me. I think I wouldn't say I'm cool. I'm okay. I'm an okay guy. You know, I get around. I think I'm not completely dumb. I'm like Star Wars. I think I've just offended like every Star Wars fan out there, and that's like what, half of the world's population. It's good. Star Wars is good. I think it's good. I like it. It just just not my thing. You know, I'm more of a Midsummer, Joker, marriage story kind of guy. Whiskey. Cheers. Thanks.